History isn't just a record of victories and kings. Its pages are also filled with chapters left unfinished, unresolved, and cursed. Today, we journey back to the very dawn of America's story, to a mystery that has endured for over 400 years. The story of an entire colony that vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a single, cryptic word. Welcome to Eldritch Era. Today, we uncover the strange and chilling tale of the lost colony of Roanoke. The year is 1587. England, under the rule of Queen Elizabeth I, is buzzing with the promise of the New World. It is an age of exploration, ambition, and fierce competition with Spain for control of the Americas. At the heart of this ambition was Sir Walter Raleigh, a dashing courtier and explorer with a singular dream: to establish the first permanent English colony in America. After previous failed attempts, a new expedition was funded. A group of 115 men, women, and children set sail for the Chesapeake Bay. Their leader was John White, an artist and governor. Among the colonists were his own pregnant daughter, Eleanor Dare, and her husband, Ananias. But their journey was plagued by misfortune. A dispute with the ship's pilot forced them to land not at their intended destination, but on Roanoke Island, off the coast of modern-day North Carolina. It was a hostile place, the site of a previous failed English military settlement where relations with the local Native American tribes were already strained. Despite the harsh conditions, the colonists began to build a life. They repaired the old fort and cottages. And it was here, amidst this uncertainty, that the first English child was born in the New World: Virginia Dare, John White's own granddaughter. Her birth was a living symbol of English hope, a fragile new beginning on a vast, unknown continent. But that hope was short-lived. The colony's supplies began to dwindle rapidly. The unforgiving American winter was approaching. Of the local tribes, only the Croatoan were friendly. The others viewed the English with suspicion and hostility. The colonists realized that without immediate resupply from England, they would not survive. A painful decision was made. Someone had to return to England for help. After much debate, Governor John White reluctantly agreed. The thought of leaving his daughter, his newborn granddaughter, and the entire colony behind tormented him. Before he left, he made a pact with the colonists. He told them, "If you must move from this place, carve the name of your destination into a tree or a post. If you are in distress or taken by force, carve a Maltese cross above the name." With this solemn agreement, John White sailed for England, promising a swift return. He had no way of knowing he had just seen his family for the very last time. When John White arrived in England, he sailed straight into a national crisis. England was at war. The mighty Spanish Armada was preparing to invade, and Queen Elizabeth I had commanded that every available ship be pressed into service for the defense of the realm. There were no ships to spare for a small, distant colony. 1 month turned into 2. 1 year turned into 2. John White was trapped, frantically petitioning the court for a ship while being consumed by a gnawing dread for the fate of his people. He could only imagine the starvation, the disease, the fear that his family was enduring thousands of miles away. Finally, after 3 long, agonizing years, in the summer of 1590, John White secured passage back to Roanoke. He arrived off the coast in August, just before his granddaughter Virginia's 3rd birthday. His heart was a storm of hope and fear. As his ship approached the island, he ordered his men to sound their trumpets and sing English songs, hoping for a reply from the shore. The only reply was silence. On August 18, 1590, Virginia Dare's 3rd birthday, John White and his men finally went ashore. What they found would become his life's great tragedy and America's oldest unsolved mystery. The colony was deserted. But this was no scene of a battle. There were no bodies, no blood, and no signs of a struggle. The houses had been carefully dismantled, suggesting an orderly departure.
The defensive palisade, or wall, around the settlement was still standing. A desperate John White searched for the secret sign he had agreed upon. He first found the letters CRO carved in a tree near the water's edge. A surge of hope filled him. He knew the Croatoan were the friendly tribe who lived on a nearby island. He was relieved because there was no Maltese cross carved above it. This meant they had not been taken by force. They had left willingly. He resolved to sail for Croatoan Island the next day. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. That very night, a massive hurricane slammed the coast. The ship's anchors were nearly lost, and the crew, terrified of the cursed coast, refused to stay. Broken-hearted and defeated by the storm, John White was forced to return to England. He was never able to finance another trip to search for his family and his lost colony. So what happened to the 115 men, women, and children of Roanoke? Did they simply vanish into thin air? For 4 centuries, historians, archaeologists, and conspiracy theorists have tried to solve the puzzle. Several theories have emerged. This is the most widely accepted theory. The colonists, fearing starvation or attack, sought refuge with the friendly Croatoan tribe on nearby Hatteras Island. The word Croatoan was their message. Later explorers in North Carolina reported encountering Native Americans with gray eyes and light hair who claimed their ancestors were white people. The modern Lumbee tribe of North Carolina strongly claims descent from the Roanoke colonists and the Croatoan people, and recent DNA studies suggest a potential link. Another theory suggests the colonists were wiped out, either by a hostile tribe or by the Spanish, who had a nearby settlement in Florida and saw the English as a threat. Captain John Smith, the leader of the later Jamestown colony, was told by the Chief Powhatan that he had personally wiped out the Roanoke settlers. But this theory fails to explain the most crucial piece of evidence: the complete lack of bodies or any signs of a battle at the settlement. It's possible the colonies simply succumbed to disease and famine. To survive, they may have broken into smaller groups, attempting to integrate with different tribes or heading inland. But again, where are the remains? Why has no mass grave ever been found? And this is where we enter the Eldritch era. Some theories go beyond simple logic. Local native legends speak of spirits that haunt the island. Was Croatoan the name of a place, or was it the name for something sinister that consumed the 115 souls? Some have speculated a terrible disease drove the colonists mad, or that they resorted to the horrifying path of cannibalism, destroying themselves from within. Was the colony cursed from the beginning? Archaeologists continue to dig on Roanoke and Hatteras Islands today. Occasionally, they find a 16th century ring or a shard of pottery, tiny glimmers of hope that are quickly extinguished. But a definitive answer to what happened to those 115 people remains buried by time and sand. Did they find a new life in the New World? Were they victims of a brutal massacre? Or is there a darker, more unsettling truth hidden in the soil of that island? The story of the lost colony of Roanoke is America's founding mystery, a story that began with a dream and ended in an unnerving silence. And all that was left was a single word: Croatoan.